Good morning, everyone, and welcome to CFES Brilliant Pathways 30 for 31 virtual college tour series, celebrating our 31st anniversary. And with a little deference to ESPN's 30 for 30, we have been going around the country to really interesting different types of colleges and universities, small, big, different cities, some rural. And today, very excited to be joined by Diana Flores, who is the Assistant Director of Admissions at Babson College, that many in New England, where a lot of our schools are. We're also in Florida, California. We're in a lot of the areas that Diana actually recruits from. And Babson comes up, people have a lot of questions about it. And I think it offers a really unique opportunity today for students to find out about a college that has the location's fantastic, the majors. I mean, it's I'll let her talk more about it, but I mean, just the entrepreneurship, the business angle is phenomenal. Like it's really well respected, and I'm very excited to have her show our students what it's all about. So I will turn it over to Diana. I do want a quick shout out to Mike Lynch, the athletic director, who is on our he is a board member and has done a lot of work with us over the years, and helped us with improve the lives of students all around, but certainly in the Boston area. So I will turn it over to Diana.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I like John mentioned, my name is Diana Flores. I'm one of the assistant directors of admissions at Babson College. I currently read for New Hampshire, get ready, it's a long list, New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, parts of Massachusetts, including the Boston area. And I also read for all of New York State, with the exception of New York City. And I also read for Florida, with the exception of Miami. I've been at Babson for about 1.5 years, and I'm originally from the Bronx, from the South Bronx, and I've been in the Boston area for about 2 years. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, we have schools actually, a number of schools in the Bronx actually that we work.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Brilliant Pathways. You guys are great.
Okay, great. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we're trying to get more schools from there to come up to places like Babson. So we will talk after and get some tours lined up, because I know you do a lot of actually hosting of tours as well, right?
Yeah, of course. I'd love to talk afterwards.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll turn it over to you. I think you have some video and some visuals.
Yeah, so I will start sharing my screen, and I thought that it would be appropriate to begin with, oops, and my screen left. I'm not used to Zoom. I use another platform at Babson College, so please bear with me.
Yeah, no, take your time.
As I try to figure this out. Okay.
We were doing a little research, and some students had some questions about Babson too. And while you're doing that, looks like about 2,500 undergrads. Is that right?
Yeah. So I will go a little bit into depth about Babson College. I'll give you like a 30 to 45 minute just overall introduction of who we are. I'll go over the academics, then I will go over student life, a little bit about careers, and then finally the whole admissions process. Please stop me along the way if I'm speaking too fast. If you have any questions, I love interacting while I'm presenting. I think it also allows me to be a better presenter. So please, if you have any questions, leave them in the chat, interrupt me. I'm happy to answer them along the way. But yeah, so like you mentioned, we are a smaller school. We are known for entrepreneurship. In fact, we have been the #1 entrepreneurship school for 26 consecutive years, and I'd like to say in counting. And we are known for business. We only teach business, so we don't have any majors or minors the ways that you'll find at other school. We only have that one business degree, more specifically a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration. And we are on the smaller side with about 2,700 students. We are located in Wellesley, Massachusetts, which is about 10 to 15 miles outside of the city of Boston. So I'd like to say that's about 25 to 30 minutes away from the city. It's super accessible. We have trains nearby that go into the city, but you're also giving a really typical New England campus. As you can see, the fall foliage. This is our admission center. This is where I work. So like I mentioned before, we are the #1 school for entrepreneurship and have been for 26 years and counting. We like to say that Babson College educates entrepreneurial leaders to create great economic and social value everywhere. And for us, entrepreneurship does not necessarily mean starting your own business or starting your own venture. It's about thought and action. So using what you know and using the opportunities given to you in order to make a difference on campus and around the world. It also means leadership for us. So when we talk about entrepreneurship as thought and action, like I mentioned before, it doesn't necessarily have to be being an entrepreneur. It's also mean empowering yourself through your education and being a leader within your communities and in the field that you are interested in. So we like to say that here at Babson College, experience is your best teacher, and we really try to tie that into the curriculum, if that makes sense. So our curriculum here at Babson College is very collaborative, very hands-on. You'll have the opportunity to have some kind of field work. And it all starts with the very first class that you'll be taking here at Babson College, which is called Foundations of Management Entrepreneurship, or FME for short. A few other of the more of other courses that you'll be taking here at Babson to give you an immersive learning experience will be McPhee, where you're actually able to consult for a different company, your education abroad, where you're actually able to do a week-long, a semester-long, a year-long abroad program. And then also the accelerator and incubator programs. So these are a few of our courses that do require some kind of fieldwork experience. And I think it's a really neat way for us to not only teach you, but also teach you how to do, if that makes sense. So I guess we can talk a little bit about FME, just making sure I'm not missing anything. So I mentioned FME in the beginning, or Foundations of Management Entrepreneurship, and it's an award-winning course here at Babson College. We've been teaching it for about 15 years. And it's the very first course that you'll be taking here as a first year. It's a year-long course. It's also the biggest course that you'll be taking here at Babson College, with about 40 to 50 students per course. And then in addition to that, it's taught by two professors, one specializing in organizational behavior and the other professor in business management. The idea here is that you'll start your own business. So Babson will invest up to $3,000 in you for you to start your own venture or your own business. And the idea here is to take a real life problem and create a real life solution to it. That's 1, ethical, 2, profitable, and 3, sustainable. We really love teaching this course, and students love being a part of this course. I think it's a really good introduction of what we do at Babson College. And one of them being is teaching through experience and teaching through doing. And the second thing is learning how to work in a collaborative and global environment. What I mean by collaborative is that you'll be working very closely with your peers outside of the classroom. And in addition to that, you'll be working very closely with your professors as well. So you'll be able to manage relationships, create relationships, and most importantly, develop great communication skills through your FME project. What I mean by global, Babson College is considered a very, very global school. We bring in different students from all parts and corners of the world, of the nation. We currently represent 82 countries and 49 states. So for a small school, it is a really global campus. So that being said, within your FME group, you'll be partaking in, building a business, but also trying to figure out what a business means or what a successful business means from different points of view, because everyone has their own perspective or own perception of success, right? So I think FME is a really cool idea or a cool course where you can explore that. A little bit more about FME. Yes, the goal here is to make profit, but you are not graded on how much profit you can make. You are graded on how well you're able to collaborate with your peers, how well you're able to meet deadlines and communicate. And I would like to put emphasis on the fact that it is a real business. You go from the rocket pitch area all the way to the liquidation period towards the end. And yes, the goal is to make profit, but the profit that you do make goes to a charity of your choice. And that is just making sure that our students are well aware of their social impact and making sure that we are creating accelerators of good throughout this FME project as well. I've had students who have grown, who have created really, really cool projects. I'm trying to think of some. There's so many coming into my head right now. One of them being Lytics. Lytics was basically a lid that a few women on our campus created to cover your cup to prevent it from being tampered with. And I think it was a really innovative idea to continue fostering safe spaces and safe social spaces for people, especially for our vulnerable populations when they're out and about. That was a really cool business. They had a great marketing tools overall. And then the other thing I will say about FME is that it allows you to explore career options throughout your business. What I mean by that is that when you come into FME, depending on your interest, you will be assigned a different position within your business. So for example, if you're interested in marketing or accounting, you will be the head of accounting, the head of product management, the head of marketing, right? Things of that sort. And, you're 18, 17, maybe 19 years old, running your own business, being the head of accounting, you realize, whoa, I hate accounting. And, it gives you an opportunity to explore other career opportunities or other career options throughout your Babson career. Lots of career words there. Do you guys have any questions regarding FME?
I just, CFES, we have these, we call them essential skills that we teach. And I mean, this FME, leadership, working in teams, all the things that we sort of emphasize that we're hearing from corporations that we partner with, like Southwest Airlines and Bain Capital, some others. They're all saying that they need students that have these essential skills, which you're teaching through this course, which is fantastic. And then the fact that the putting them in an actual, it's almost like when they get out, they've already run a business.
Yeah.
So, which is
no, for sure.
One of the students is saying that what an opportunity to and sort of being able to learn, like you said, what you like and don't like. So you'll get a taste of all the aspects of a business. You might be like, well, I really don't like accounting, but I'm into marketing. So what a great way to sort of identify what part of the business you like most.
Yeah, and also identify your strengths and weaknesses, right? Like I mentioned before, you're coming into this business with very little prior experience before. And it's a good way to identify your strength and weakness, whether that's personally or career-wise, and then you're able to further work on that throughout your Babson time. Because a lot of our curriculum is very hands-on, such as FME, students have no issue finding an internship because a lot of their experience is being, they're gaining a lot of experience through their coursework. So a lot of our first years end up having at least one internship. Or a lot of it's not unheard of for a first year to have an internship, you know what I mean? And especially with FME under their belt, they're able to further talk about it. And, it's very uncommon, like I mentioned before, for a 18, 17-year-old to have their own or to have started their own business.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, internships are usually way later, and I'm sure you have some later too, but to get that experience early, one student asked about, they're sort of guessing that you have a good connections with businesses in the Boston area to do internships.
Yeah, we do have great connections in the Boston. There's a whole list of them, of the connections that we have in the Boston area. For the most part, our students do intern during the summer. And a good chunk of them end up interning in the Boston area, in the New York City area, and other major cities around around the US. But I think for the most part, if students are interested in doing an internship during the year, then they will do it during the weekend.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'll let you continue. I'll try and get some in the chat box while you're going.
Yeah, please let me know if you have any questions along the way. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the academics here at Babson. So here at Babson, we like to say that we blend the business curriculum with the liberal arts curriculum. And the reason we do that is because we believe that through the liberal arts curriculum, you're able to develop good rhetoric skills, good communication skills, good writing skills, all important things in order to create a good business person or a good, well-rounded entrepreneur. Like I mentioned before, we don't have any majors or minors, the ways that you'll find at other schools. We only have that one degree in business, but we do have 24 concentrations to complement your studies. These concentrations range from entrepreneurship to economics to accounting to marketing, but we also have more liberal arts concentrations, such as literary and visual arts. We have diversity and leadership. There's a few others that are kind of foggy in my brain, but definitely a very diverse list of concentrations. And I think it also speaks to the fact that the business degree at Babson College is really versatile. What I mean by that is that you'll learn so much. And it's not just strictly business. You're able to incorporate other things within your business curriculum. For that reason, in order to, further open up your curriculum to other options, we have a partnership with Olin College School of Engineering and Wellesley College, the all women's liberal arts college that's, in the Boston area. This partnership allows you to take up to 8 courses in either Olin or Wellesley College. So if you're interested in possibly getting a certificate in engineering, that's not a dual degree, it's a certificate in engineering, then you're welcome to take a few courses in Olin. And if you're interested in taking some higher level language courses or possibly some sociology courses or some theater courses, you're more than welcome to take those at Wellesley College, regardless of your gender. And Wellesley College is about a mile down the road from us. And then Olin College is about, we share a property line with them, actually. What am I saying? So our professors here, our professors are one of the most impressive things about Babson College, besides our students. So all our courses are taught by professors. We don't have any teaching assistants. And in addition to that, all our faculty are experts in the field that they are teaching. So what I mean by that is that your professor in marketing, for example, has been in the marketing field. Your professor in entrepreneurship has had their own business, has ran their own business. So they're coming to you with actual experience. And I think that's something very unique to Babson College. So for that reason, I always say that your professors are not only educators, they are also mentors, life coaches, career coaches, friends, and they're super accessible. Our professors are always eager to make a connection with their students, and they truly care about success beyond the classroom. So if you just kind of want to fly under the radar, possibly not go to class, this might not be the space for you, because you best believe that your professor will be emailing you like, hey, John, is everything okay? Not to get you in trouble, but more so to check on you, to make sure that you are okay, both academically and mentally, and to make sure that you do have that support necessary in order to succeed. I think there's something really unique about going to a small school, and the professors is one of those main reasons. And of course, the access and accessibility to them. We have smaller classes. So like I mentioned before, or maybe I didn't mention this, the student to faculty ratio is 14:1, and the average class size is about 30 students per class. And the really cool thing about our classes is that a lot of them are shaped into a U to encourage discussion and to encourage collaboration. And in addition to that, which brings me into here. Any questions regarding academics that I might have not covered?
You answered it. Yeah, there was one question about, I think a student just trying to get their head around so it's a business major is the main thing, but can you get take other courses that sort of help you bolster that major, which you just answered. It sounds fantastic. I mean, visual to diversity leadership. I mean, it just, what a way to sort of have a business major becomes all encompassing to all the other areas that, really matter to the success of a business. Yeah, no, for sure. And I think Babson's really unique because, like I mentioned before, it really expands your notion of what a business person is or what an entrepreneur is. It really expands the definition of that. I have students who are interested in the arts, who have taken art classes, who are in art classes, but they are still considered entrepreneurs because of how they behave, how they act, how they interact with others, and how they interact with their communities and that. Students are truly, truly leaders. I am so impressed by our student body and motivated by them, honestly. I think one thing that I didn't cover is going abroad before I go into this fun life, which is student life, right? So going abroad here is very accessible and very common. So you can go abroad as early as your sophomore year and until late as your second semester, senior year. Maybe I did say this, but we can, 60% of our students end up going abroad. And the other thing I didn't mention was that financial aid transfers over while abroad, cost transfers over, and we even have grants to cover flights for students who have shown need and to cover personal expenses as well. We have over 100 learning abroad opportunities in every single country that you can think of, with the exception of Antarctica. Did I pronounce that right? I always have some. I think so. In Spanish is Antarctica, so I always, for some reason, confuse those. But yes, it's a really neat opportunity, and you can also go abroad up to twice. So if you go abroad for a 2-week program and then end up being like, wow, I want more of this, and you can more than welcome go abroad for a semester. And we have research opportunities abroad, internship opportunities abroad,
Similar courses to FME, more so like the international consulting experience abroad, where you're able to consult for different companies in said country that you're in and gain 1 internship experience and 2 class credits. So it's, the really neat thing about going abroad is that you can really make this experience what you want and what you need in order to get the most out of your education. And I highly encourage, no matter what school you end up at, going abroad, especially if cost transfers over, especially if it's accessible. I went to a small school, and I think one of the things that I regret was not going abroad or not taking advantage of that opportunity. So definitely do it if it's available to you.
Yeah, it's great advice. I mean, a lot of our students, that exposure, but going overseas would be, I think really important from a diversity perspective. I mean, it's incredible. I didn't realize how many countries that you're sort of involved in and that they can go to it. When you just said Olin and Wellesley College initially, I thought, well, that's pretty cool. They could go to take courses there, but they could go all over the world and do it, which is
awesome. Well, that's just because we believe that global education does not have to end at Babson College. We want them to continue learning and continue, exploring what, the resources that we have globally. Yeah. So here at Babson College, let me see what the next slide is. Okay, that's what I wanted. So here at Babson College, like I mentioned before, we are collaborative, creative, innovative, and we are very career driven. And but besides that, I think our students really enjoy having fun. And we have people coming in from all different kinds of backgrounds and cultures from all corners of the world. So it's really a space where you're able to learn from one another. And I always say that the learning does not stop in the classroom. It continues on in your dorms. It continues on in your social settings, in the dining halls. And we have over 100 clubs and organizations that are really reflective of our student diversity. And I always say that at Babson College, there's something for everyone. We have clubs that celebrate others' identities. And, we have clubs that are also really representative of our student body and their beliefs and their goals in general. So this is a breakdown of the class profile for 2025. So for the class of 2025, that would be my current sophomores. We have 652 students, 46% identified as women, 54% identified as U.S. students of color, 20% identified as first-generation students, meaning they were first in their family to graduate or to have attended a 4-year institution. Our admit rate for the class of 2025 was 25. And we currently represent, in only the class of 2025, we currently represent 35 states and 55 countries. But in the whole entire undergraduate class, we currently present about 82 countries and all 49 states. We're missing one of the Dakotas. And the top countries that attend Babson College or that are represented at Babson College are India, China, followed by Brazil. And then we have a high population of Colombians. And what's the other one? Of Colombians, yeah. Yeah.
That's a unique, I mean, the diversity rate is really high. That's awesome. I mean, a lot of schools, it's not close. And then the number of countries that are represented. And then even the 46% women, to me, that's kind of almost an even ratio, which a lot of schools, I guess the business angle might, because University of Vermont, and we were just talking with them, our CFES boss is doing some research on that about sort of the female to male ratio is sort of getting more women are going to college now, and it's becoming like 65-35, and it looks like you're close to 50-50 there, huh, in terms of diversity.
Yeah, no, for sure. And when we're looking to admit students, we want to make sure that we're bringing in a diverse class and it's really reflective of the world that we live in. So, having that almost equal woman to male ratio is really important to us, or just having gender diversity in general is really important to us, especially in a male dominated industry, because let's not forget that business is a male dominated industry. So just bringing in women into the field is really important. And we do have different resources for women in order to continue empowering them throughout their business education.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So we are a Division 3 school. So we have 23, this is not updated, sorry. We have 23 Division 3 sports or Division 3 varsity sports. on campus. We just added the women's golf team. We have Greek life on campus. We have 3 sororities and 3 fraternities on campus. And we have, like I mentioned before, 100 students, over 100 student clubs and organizations that are really reflective of our student body. Of course, we have your stock market exchange club, your cryptocurrency club, your accounting club, your marketing club, but we also have your fashion club, and we have clubs that are really there to support student development and, just making sure that they're there to create and continue creating safe spaces for our students. So one of them being the Johnston House, which is, or the Johnston organization, which is basically an org for our Black students on campus, which I think is really neat, which is a great way for them to, live through their shared experiences and just be amongst each other and feel comfortable and continue creating that safe atmosphere. We also have LASO, which is the Latin American Student Association on campus. We have Semillas, which is for our students who are first generation, for them to, continue having important conversations around their experiences and finding that support network that might be important to them. And then in addition to that, we have the One organization, which is Origins of Necessary Equality, which is for students who identify as BIPOC. And it's a really important organization on campus because, again, it's continuing to create safe spaces and inclusivity on campus. And both the Johnston House and both the One Tower are also organizations that also have themed housing on campus. So it's really neat. It's a really neat notion. Yeah. We are 10 miles outside of Boston College. Oh, so sorry. Outside of Boston, the city of Boston. So 10 miles, it's really, really close, guys. I think Babson is in a really convenient location. And we have an Uber partnership that actually allows you to go into Babson. Oh my God. And to go into Boston, to go into Boston for half a fare off, or for to go into major train stations that lead you into Boston for a free fare. Did that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's
I might have confused you with confusing Boston and
no,
Boston
you're
and Boston.
fine. Totally knew what you meant. Yeah. No, it's a great point because it's like the campus is its own, it's so it's attractive and it's outside, it's its own place, but you can get into the city real quick.
Yeah, it's very accessible. All our first years are also allowed to have cars on campus, and all our first years are required to live on campus. I will make that clear, unless you're a transfer student. And then after that, housing's guaranteed, parking's guaranteed, and then 85% of our students continue to live on campus all 4 years.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. And then I'll show you the dorms, walk you through that a little bit later. We do have great campus events. Spring is a really fun time to be on campus, not only because the weather gets warmer, but also because there's great events. One of them being the spring concert, where we brought in top name artists like J. Cole, Kesha, Lil Yachty came to perform last spring. And the really cool thing is that we actually rent out a venue in Boston proper. So we have these big coach buses that come to pick our students up, bring them over to Boston. And the tickets are as little as $7, which I think is really neat, because the idea here is just for them, to provide our students space to have fun. And then the spring carnival happens as well, a little closer to the end of the semester. And basically what happens is that we actually bring in real carnival rides, a real Ferris wheel. We actually try to support local businesses by bringing in food trucks or food from local businesses, all really diverse cuisine, from Latin American to Asian to African, to make sure that, we are really, really being reflective of our students here on campus.
Yeah, that's great. You mentioned fun earlier, and then you're talking about now ways students can have fun. When you talk with people who graduate from most colleges and you ask them, hey, what'd you remember? What was it? Yeah, for sure. Sometimes it's classes they took, whatever. But a lot of times it's like the people they knew, the fun they had. Like, I mean, it's I don't think we talk about it enough, because it's really, that part of the college experience is huge. Like just having fun with friends. Sure. Yeah, so I appreciate.
And also finding people that, you can relate to, find in your community on campus. There's so much more to classes that make your college experience wholesome and enjoyable. And I think a lot of it has to do with the clubs and orgs and the groups that you're a part of outside of your classes. I mean, when I think back to my college time, I think about, of course, the classes and the professors that have had an impact on me, but also about the community that I created and the community that I was able, and the safe spaces that I was able to create for other students coming into the college that I attended.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure. And then some of those, it's lifelong, some of, people I still have friends that community members at college that I stay in touch with that have helped me over the years. It's just kind of
Yeah.
lifelong community, really,
Yeah, for sure. Are there any questions from the students?
Right now, that is it so far. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out and put them in the chat box.
No
If not, I'll
worries.
just relay them to you. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about careers. How are we doing on time, by the way?
We got another 15 at least. Is that good?
15 minutes?
Yeah, is that enough?
Yeah, that's enough. What time is it? I don't have
11:32.
Oh, perfect. We're a good time.
Okay.
So here we are the top school for return of investment and the top school for reported average salary. I'm so sorry about the lighting, guys, by the way. I'm trying to move my computer around, but it's a gloomy day, which means it's a gloomy day in my apartment.
Nah, look, it's fine.
I do have lighting, but it's not great. So 99.5% of our students are employed or are continuing their education 6 months post-graduation. Guys, this is really great numbers, especially considering that these are numbers reported during a pandemic. So student success, again, I will say it again, because I truly believe it expands beyond the classroom. The average reported salary was between 62 and 63 grand, 6 months post-graduation. And like I mentioned before, we're the top private business college for salary potential. And 90% of our students had at least one internship prior to graduation. A really great resource on campus is the Center for Career Development, or the CCD for short. We love acronyms here at Babson. The CCD is a really great resource center, and they make you start thinking about your career and what you want to do the minute that you step onto campus by having something called First Year Fridays. First Year Fridays happen every other Friday, and basically what happens is that the CCD closes down all their offices, or except for everyone except for like first years, and that's to encourage our first years to come into office hours, to start thinking about what is it that they want to do, to get them working on their resume, LinkedIn, cover letters, whatever that might be. So for that reason, students, leave Babson with lots of experience, with lots of internship experience, and with really a great foundation for success. CCD also has many great partnerships. They bring in about 500 companies throughout the year that are willing to connect and willing to recruit Babson students. And students here, the feeling is not, will I land a job after I graduate? Is what opportunity will I take? And just to give you an idea of what that means, 50% of our seniors come fall semester have already a job lined up. That number increases to about 85% come spring semester. Yeah, so now you know why I'm like, oh, I'm so, motivated by the students and so willing, you know what I mean? So I have a question.
Yeah, there's one there on the chat. I did see on your bio too, you said you were really impressed with the students because they were so supportive and competitive.
Yeah.
That's a nice combination.
Yeah, so what I mean by supportive and competitive is that no dream is too big for a Babson student. I mean, if you come into Babson as a first year and you're like, John, I really want to start my own business. I really want to start my clothing business. I, as a student, would probably be like, I got you, John. Like, what do you need? Like, I know this person. Like, I can advertise it on my social media. Let me buy it from you. Let me try it out. Let me review it. And then our professors also have that same sentiment, very supportive. There's also a sense of competitiveness, but it's also very healthy competitiveness, unless you're playing bingo. When you're playing bingo, when there's a raffle involved, then forget about it. You have no friends along your side. So I got a question. Do you get many students from upstate New York? Not a lot of students from upstate New York, but there is a good amount. I read for upstate New York, and we have admitted a few students from upstate New York. And I hope, it's hard to give you a specific number on how many students from upstate we have. Yeah, but we do have a good number. I don't know if Westchester County counts as upstate New York, but we do get a lot of students from Westchester County.
Yeah. No, I think this is good because it's the students from Adirondacks all the way up to some of our schools in the Leatherstocking region. Like it's
Where's
getting,
he, what school is,
well, it's like Platt, I think the student, this area, we're thinking like Plattsburgh up to all the way up to like Watertown, like way up,
Mhm,
even Syracuse area, Cooperstown, we have
mhm.
schools there. I think this is great because I think students are like kind of aware of bats and they're like, what is it really about? So this is giving them a great, I think that question stems from, interest in what you're talking about.
Yeah, great. I'm happy. I was in upstate New York doing travel recruitment in the fall. I went to all the major cities in upstate New York: Syracuse, Buffalo, Rochester, Albany, and I mean, students were really interested in Babson. And I will say it's not that far. I made my way up from Babson College all the way up. It wasn't a bad drive at all.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that perception is like, oh, it's so far away, and it's really not. So
It's not that far.
yeah, we'll have to get you in some of our schools for sure. Now that I know you come to those areas, I'll be reaching
Well,
out to you.
next time I'll be there for sure. We'll let you know. I have you as a contact and we can, work something out so I can meet you in person or
Yeah,
come to your students in person. I think that's really
that'd be,
important too.
that'd be great. Yeah.
So let's talk about, I promise I'll be 5 more minutes and then you can hear me. I can show you the campus. You can hear me stop talking. So Babson College is really unique in the way that we do financial aid. We are one of 62 schools that meets 100% of demonstrated financial need. What I mean by that is that we are able to match how much your parents or how much you can afford to attend college and give you a financial aid package based on that. So we are willing to help you every step along the way. The financial aid office, we work very closely with them and they're a really great resource. They actually have a cost, what do you call it? Like a cost predictor where you can go online and predict how much Babson will cost for you. And I think, you can just put in how much your parents make, how much you make, how much you're willing to contribute, things of that sort. It goes a little bit into depth in that way, but it's also a really good predictor on what your financial aid package will look like when you attend Babson College. So before, I want to see what's here. Okay. So before I go into this, I will also say that we are need blind for our domestic students. And we also require besides FAFSA, the CSS profile. So I always say that the FAFSA is 1,000 questions, the CSS profile is 1,002 questions. It just goes a little bit more into depth into your financial status. And the reason we do that is because, again, we meet 100% of demonstrated financial needs. So we want to make sure that we're doing just that when we're reading your financial statuses and things of that sort. We also have merit-based scholarships on campus. We have about a dozen. We have the DivLeave Scholarship, which is a full ride to Babson College for students who identify as BIPOC and also have been great leaders within their communities. We also have scholarships for women in entrepreneurship or women who have shown great leadership within their school. We also have the Presidential Scholarship for students who have received straight A's throughout their high school time. So we do have lots of scholarships pertaining to that. And these scholarships are also really great because they also invite you into a cohort or into a community the minute that you step onto campus. So this is my intuition is the net price calculator for Babson College. And our financial aid deadlines are November 15th for a decision and early action, February 1st for early decision 2 and regular decision. So yeah, I invite you to apply if you are interested in Babson College. We take a very holistic approach to your application. What I mean by that is that we look at every parts of your application, including the qualitative and the quantitative side. We are very highly selective, but I will not let that, shy you away from applying. On average, we admitted an AB student that are top 10% of a high school class. And then within your application, we are looking for someone who is well-rounded. Excuse me. We are looking for someone who is well-rounded, who has shown great leadership skills. The only thing that we do require before being considered for admission is pre-calc. But I will say that we are SAT and ACT optional, and I predict that we will continue to being so past the 2024 academic year. In addition, what I will say is that we also require a supplement. For the supplement, you can submit a 500-word essay on what women need to apply to Babson, or you can submit a 1-minute video of what led you to apply to Babson. We receive TikToks and music videos and YouTube videos. So it's really a creative outlet for you to express your interest in Babson and entrepreneurship in general. And then besides that, obviously your personal statement, and we're not comparing you to any other students. I will make that clear. We are only comparing you to your high school profile and watching how well you were able to do with the resources provided to you.
Yeah, that cost predictor is awesome. So it looks pretty, I mean, it's not that much data either, apparently, right? I mean, you just have his parent salary and it's not too, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it is. It's a really neat way for you to, if you, especially when you're thinking about applying early decision, I think the net price calculator is a really great tool.
One student, a question. So I guess it's based essentially I guess when you apply, the question is sort of like, what if I'm not, I don't have a lot about business background, or is that a deterrent, or
No.
I think, yeah.
Nope, not at all. I think what we're looking for is a good high school curriculum rigor. In addition to that, an average AB student. So we want to see good grades and we want to see a really rigorous curriculum. You don't have to have a background in entrepreneurship or business, but we do want to see pre-calc or some kind of higher level math within your curriculum. IB math, both standard level and higher level, will fulfill that pre-calc requirement.
Okay. And then this is a question. I went to UMass Amherst, and I had some friends that went to Babson, and we were talking about alumni. They always say Babson has a phenomenal alumni network. So in terms of like, you graduate, you can reach out to alums. Not only can you get a job through them possibly, but you just support, like when you start your career, really good alumni base. They say that. I'm assuming that's probably true.
Yeah, we have 43,000 folks in our alumni network. And the really nice thing about going to a smaller school is that community lives with you. And our alumni are always really eager to come back into the community and give back in some formal way. All our alumni really love Babson College. I often get stories from even our prospective students who have told me I reached out to said alum, or reached out to multiple alums on LinkedIn, and all of them reached back out to me. So again, if you want to reach out to an alumni, if you want to find more information about or get a more in-student perspective on Babson College, then please feel free to reach out. And I can promise you that they will reach out to you. 95% sure.
Yeah, that sounds great. And I know we have, last year we lined up some college tours. We try and hit take 30 kids to 5 or 6 colleges in the Boston area. Would love to get them on your campus. I feel like it's a place where if you get on the campus, a virtual tour that was great. And then to have supplement, actually have them come on campus, I think would be pretty powerful. I have a feeling when kids get on campus, they're going to have a hard time not wanting to go there.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different experience when you come to campus, because not only are you hearing from the assistant director or from an admissions officer like myself, but you're also hearing from multiple students. And our tour guides are amazing. The campus itself is gorgeous. You also get to hear from a student within the information session. So just imagine me with a different student. It's a really neat experience for our prospective students and families. But I have this really neat, I don't know if you can see this correctly, but I have this really neat, let me just mute my windows. I have this really neat tool that can take you around Babson College. And this is what it looks like during the summer. But basically here, I can just walk you along and I think this is the next best thing to an in-person tour.
Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah, so this is the Park Manor Quad. This is where a lot of our first years will be living. This is right behind the admissions office. So here, maybe if I just click that, maybe not. It's a little slow. So move-in day is late August. How do I exit out? Sorry, guys. Oh, there it is. It's hidden. Okay. So this is the Park Manor Quad. This is a dorm in the back. This is where a lot of our first years will be living. This is just literally like down the road. Like if you just keep walking, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying to get used to this tool. So if you can see, this is right here. If you just take down that path, it's right next to this academic building. So Park Manor Quad, very pretty. My gosh, so many little knickknacks about this. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, it's all right. It looks
You know
good.
what? I'll just let it do its thing. I'll just let it take you around.
No, it's a
So
great.
right-
visual. It looks great.
Yeah, these are all dorms, what you're seeing here.
Wow. Yeah.
So this is what a dorm looks like in the inside. This is Park Manor South. This is what you will not get during your tour at Babson College. This is what a typical dorm would look like for our first years.
Yeah.
You have the 2 closets. Every room comes furnished. I'm sure this mirror didn't come though, because it's too pretty. But all our dorms come with a bed, a desk, a chair, a closet, drawers, things of that sort. Floor to ceiling windows. They don't come with I think they come with a fridge and microwave. I need to double check. I feel like someone told me they did, but I need to double check.
Yeah, it looks great. Wow.
This is Park Manor West. This is inside a dorm building, but we do have classroom spaces within this dorm building, especially for students who have taken specifically first year classes. So this is what a typical class, not a typical class, but what a class in Park Manor West would look like. This is the Innovation Center. This is also located in the dorm. This is located in Park Manor South. And this is in the first floor of Park Manor South. And this is where a lot of your FME group projects will be taking place. And you can also see a little map in here.
Yeah.
It's pretty, isn't it? If you come to campus, I'll show you this in person.
Sure.
It's gorgeous.
Great. Yeah. Wow.
This is the Arthur Blank Center. My gosh, I'm so sorry. The Arthur Blank Center is our neighbor to the London Admission Center. So it's right next door to our office. And it's this is where a lot of our offices are. So a lot of professors' offices, a lot of resource spaces. In addition to that, you'll probably be taking a few classes in here. There's a front desk person that would help you direct you to the different resources that we have within the Blank Center. And then in addition to that, the different offices that professors might be holding.
Arthur Blank. Yeah, so he's an alum, huh?
He is an alum. Yeah, he's one of our great alums. He often comes to campus. There's a scholarship that he gives out, which is the Arthur Blank Scholarship. Yeah, there's a whole building named after him.
Yeah, he owns a lot in Atlanta, I think, right?
He owns the Falcons.
Falcons,
He's also the creator of Home Depot.
Couple nice things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
So this is our graduate building. You will not be taking any classes here, not that I know of, but you will be doing some presentation here, especially in WIN, the auditorium, and also the downstairs floor here.
So is that what, like the MBA, like to get an
This is the
MBA?
MBA building, exactly.
Okay. I read earlier that an MBA grad from Babson makes on average $147,595.
Yep, that's correct.
Impressive. Yeah, wow. Yeah.
This is a design studio. Again, creativity and experience is really your best teacher here at Babson College. You want to make sure that you have all the creative resources and tools available to you to explore your interests. This is a really neat space, guys. The pictures do not do it justice because when you walk in, you'll be able to see different student projects surrounding the space. You'll learn wood chopping skills. There's different machines to, start your own business, to think about your own business. And it's a really neat space. It's not a typical classroom. It's a space for students to collaborate and use creative thinking to solve problems. And everything here is portable and flexible, allowing quick transitions between classes. So you can take anything that you need from here as well.
Wow.
The Lewis Institute, I actually don't know a lot of the Lewis Institute, but I can read the little tags here. The Lewis Institute for Social Innovation activates people to become change makers and unifiers via global community and dedicated to addressing social and economic challenges through entrepreneurship.
These are great.
This is BRAC was recently renovated. I wish they had pictures indoors, and they do. This is a great school, guys. This is BRAC. This is the gym. Guys, the gym looks like a lifetime gym. I mean, like, it's a luxury, really. It's much prettier than most gyms that I've been to at universities and colleges. This is the weight section or the weightlifting room. This is the basketball court, nice hardwood floor. It's very shiny. They have massages for student athletes, which I think is really neat. This is what it looks like from the outside. It's no longer called the BRAC or the Babson Recreation Athletics Complex. It's now called Len Green. I don't know if that's going to catch on anytime soon. This is another court. Once this loads, again, this is a different view from the weightlifting section of the gym. This is the cardio room. You get to do cardio with a really nice view of campus. Again, massages and different tools for you to relax. It's insane. I swear. This is the athletics field at Babson College. This is Putney Hall. Oh, I went a little too. This is another dorm, Putney Hall. No, I'm at Putney Hall. Wait, there's a little arrow here. This is the Wiseman Foundry, another really great creative space on campus. This is where students can take their business and product ideas from concepts through prototyping and doing everything from the building to, it's a really neat space as well, guys. You can literally bring every single career or business project into life here. This is Rogers Pub, or my bad, this is the dining hall where most of our students eat. Maybe you can see some pictures here. It's a really neat space. We have a pub on campus where you're only allowed to go on once you're over 21 or 21 and over. This is our campus bar. It's right next to the pub or to the dining hall or trim dining hall. There's food table in there, really neat space. It's so pretty in here, guys. It literally looks like mid-century to the T. This is the famous globe. This is a really big landmark of ours. Surrounding the globe, you probably will see about 82 flags surrounding the globe. Each flag is very representative of our student body and our student. And every time a new country comes in or a student from a different country comes in, a new flag goes up. And I think it's a really great way to, make everyone feel seen and welcome the minute that they step onto campus, no matter where they're coming from. One of my favorite things to do when I was walking around with students and prospective students, especially during launch, is when a student would go up and be like, oh, there's my flag. Oh, I've never seen my flag up like this. There it is. And I think that's really neat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's more pictures. This is a really nice picture that you can see.
Yes.
This is Roger Babson, our creator. Our founder, my bad, not creator, that's weird. This is, my gosh, the Reynolds Campus Center. Why I blanked out on that one. A lot of office spaces as well as here. And here, actually, you'll find a lot of places to eat. And this is a really great study space as well. We have the Babson the Babson bookstore in there. So as you can see, lined up, there's like different places where you can eat, which is the cafe, the Dunkin' Donuts is there, all part of your meal plan as well. A really great study space and social space all at once. And this is what it looks like during the summer, which I think is really neat. Yeah, this is what it looks like from the outside. It's truly a beautiful campus, guys. This is literally what it looks like during the springtime. And the springtime is such a fun time on campus.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous. Wow. Yeah.
This is the bookstore. Sorry. And then the Sorensen Art Center for the Art. This is our theater, very gorgeous. There's spaces for the arts at business. In fact, the most popular club on campus is is the Babson Student Dance Ensemble. Business students love to dance apparently, and it's really, really well set out and really well attended. This is the Glavin Chapel, where a lot of our religious practices and spiritual practices take place. And it's really just a safe space for students to be a part of. There's yoga, there's places where you can celebrate your culture and traditions through music and through poems and poetry. It's a safe space for students identifying from all, all kinds of backgrounds, from racial to ethnically to gender and sexuality. So really great and safe space. And it's gorgeous. All these like open windows, and it's really beautiful. This is what it looks like from the outside. Wish they had a better, oh, there it is. And that's the entrance to, or a part of our library, if that makes sense. Very green space. In the corner, there is a Starbucks. That's the library. Is this helpful, guys?
Yeah, very. Like it's a lot more. The modernness of it is, I think, surprising to some people. Now it's an older school, but I mean, it's a nice.
It's very modern.
Yeah, it's stunning, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it took me a little bit to like just work through it.
Yeah.
It's very complex, this tool. Very good, actually. Once you get a hang of it, I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
It's probably one of the best visual tours we've had yet. I mean, it really captures the whole 360.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm very glad. This is our office in Boston proper. So we do have an office in Boston proper, and that's just one of the luxuries or one of the privileges that we have of being so close to a major city.
Yeah, that's right downtown. Is that right?
It's right downtown. Yeah, it's 10 miles outside of downtown. A lot of our great presentations happen here, special events. This is what it looks like on the outside. It's a really neat space.
That's great.
And during the summer, if you're taking summer classes, you're probably taking them here, actually. And that is it.
That was great.
I mean, I hope I didn't lose any of you guys.
No, that's a great, often it's just sort of still shots, but that's great, the whole view. And I mean, that's one of the more attractive campuses for sure. We'd love to get students on campus, and if we have any, I guess we're coming up on an hour here now. Yeah, if students have questions, can they reach out and email you or?
Yes, please do. I will leave my email in the chat.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and I have it.
So dflores@babson.edu. Please email me if you have any questions, if you want to learn more about Babson College, if there's something that you want to know, but I probably didn't cover, literally anything, just email me. I'm very accessible via email.
Well, we really appreciate it. It's a great place to leave it. I mean, that's the visual, and then the content you provided, incredibly helpful. And I think we'll try and get some tours there, and you'll probably get some questions. So we appreciate you just taking the time. This has been fantastic.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy to do this. It was a pleasure meeting you and working with you guys, and I really hope to continue working with you guys. Please let me know if you're willing to come to campus, or if you have a school that wants to come to campus, and we'll be more than happy to host them. In addition, during our travels and during our seasonal travels, I will make sure to put you on our list so we can visit some of your schools.
That sounds great. Yeah, we definitely have, just thinking of the schools we have in the areas where you are, and we can get some students on campus and have you talk to them. And this has been great. So we really appreciate it, and we will be staying in touch for sure.
Yeah, please do. Thank you so much, John.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Anna. We'll talk to you.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks.